Talk Wisdom Walk with C.A. Curtis. I'm Carolyn. Does truth matter? Well, here's a poem that I wrote last year that I would like to share with you. Truth. Your truth, my truth, who's to say? And does it matter what truth is anyway? Who measures truth and by what? By feelings or passions, or by what it is not? And once deceived by false reality, who pays the price for such insanity? Truth can be known and matters still. Will you love truth more than your own free will? Why would you believe puppet master who lied? Examine the facts before you decide. Do you claim innocence in our fallen race? Lying, cheating, stealing, we all carry disgrace. Weighed and wanting for being deceived. Can you pay the price for doing evil's deed? Creator's story of his love for you, mocked as myth hidden from view. Ancient books reveal all was foretold. Messiah paid the price to lift your load. Right from wrong and what is real. Choose truth and live. Hear God's appeal. Yet in this place where dark forces reign, the road is rough, the just suffer pain. Whatever is, whatever was, whatsoever will be, in the light of eternity is shown for all to see. Truth will prevail and remedy our plight. The light that shines conquers the night. Many things impact how we measure truth. We see through the lens of our unique life story, how and where we grew up, what we felt, heard, and saw. The things we did and learned shape who we are along with our personalities and abilities. We accept or reject our parents' beliefs. We are peer dependent or not. We experience good and bad, love and hate, and are influenced by family, friends, teachers, athletes, stars, and media. What we believe about life, past, present, and future, makes up our worldview. This is the lens through which we view the world, like a pair of glasses. It's good to examine our worldview and clean our lenses regularly. While listening to a speaker, we can look up their website and history to understand their worldview and purpose. And, if it's a book, we can read the preface and the back cover for insight. In full disclosure, that's how I find out about people. Usually I can tell by the first paragraph or the first 30 minutes what a person's worldview is. But I think it's just wise to look at that lens and understand where people are coming from. We may need to change our perspective. We may not. But it's good to know what we're doing. So in the light of that, here's more about my worldview. While raising children, a season passed with teaching in my classroom, I reviewed the New Holt reading series for my students. My edition had a brief history of public education, which described the need to remove moral training from texts. That news sent me into a deep research dive into whatever happened to reshape public education. That's for another time. I ended up writing a 3-hour dissertation on it that I could give, but anyway. Of course, the experts believed that they were making the world a better place. People don't typically set out, I'm going to make the world a worse place. No, they believed they were doing the right thing. However, the consequences were soon made clear. Removing our moral code had left a vacuum which invited the sexual revolution. We were regressing, not progressing, and that is a story for another time. Motivated to protect my family, I volunteered in the public square, standing for pro-family issues. Then I worked on staff for Congressman Jack Metcalf. Jack was a statesman you could trust with just laws and with interns. I trained our interns. The rules and protocols were and are clear. So there was no excuse for office scandals. Gentleman Jack went to Congress after teaching math and history and serving as a state legislator in Washington. In Washington, D.C., his greatest disappointment was with politicians lying to the press. He described talking with colleagues about the problems with a proposed law. In private, they agreed with the facts. Then, turn right around and lie in front of the cameras. We call that Potomac fever, from drinking contaminated DC water, where power too often just corrupts principles, and it still does. Back to the 1990s intern scandal, our office fielded 1,000 calls of protest in one day. As President Clinton's impeachment loomed, one angry caller, a call I received, insisted long and loud that it was no one's business what two consenting adults did in private. Perhaps. When she paused for a breath, I asked a simple, informative question. Are you aware that this happened in the workplace? Stunned silence ensued. Feminists were clear about stopping workplace exploitation. Filling the silence, I continued that the Oval Office was, after all, a workplace. It was, usually, where our nation's business was conducted. And the supreme leader of the free world, the big boss, held a power position over others across the world, far above the tragic vulnerability of the dismissed young intern who bore his shame. Then I explained the protocol about interns to the caller and the duties of Congress regarding lying under oath. The informed caller understood. Who calculates the cost of bearing false witness and lying under oath? To we the people. On the other hand, we're considered innocent until proven guilty, and the Fifth Amendment protects us from being compelled to testify against ourselves. Confession is good for the soul, but silence can be best if swamp creatures are circling. Things are complicated when press and media commentators withhold facts and bias news. Any one of us can be tried and convicted in the court of public opinion, and with lawfare, due process is always in jeopardy. Characters from my novel Synthesis, Computer Parented with Rights and Equality for All, are not real, although scenes allude to forces reshaping our world. It is fiction. That's just what it is. It really is just fiction. Facilitator Hegelthor plans to take over the world with the help of his tribunal. Through temporary setbacks, he marches toward his goal, The rest of their stories live in my mind, waiting to be told. And I just did an update in 2020. That was the 20th anniversary edition on Amazon. But that's not true. It's fiction. I have no trouble dividing fiction from nonfiction. Those who sell fiction as facts do us no favor and should stick to writing novels instead of the news. We have a responsibility to examine and see the difference between true and false. When we choose to believe the lies and false promises, we may pay with devastating consequences. I have. And the consequences can threaten civilization itself. Many civilizations have come and gone from internal rot. Hopefully, we will learn from their mistakes and ours and change course. Although these times are challenging, people do stand and speak truth to power in media, at school board meetings, publicly, and at congressional hearings. And now we have some reliable news sources so we can make up our own minds. We have reason to be encouraged. This is a journey of truth, a simple invitation to press on and examine truth claims for ourselves, for yourself. Explore the evidence your teachers, professors, and commentators were unaware or chose to ignore. Explore the facts. You have free will. Choose your own path based on evidence rather than newsfeed, false premises, convenience, popularity, or personal comfort or feelings. Truth is a solid foundation. Stand on it. Truth matters, and you matter. Love truth, be grateful, and do good. Thank you for joining this journey. And until we meet again.